Now that I got my paper space set up, I then want to add some labels to my plan. To do that, I first want to make sure my layer is set correctly. And I'm going to set my layer to be C Anno for annotation. And to draw MText or multi-line text, I want to go to the Annotate tab and use the multi-line text option. It's going to ask me to pick a first point and then a second point. And then I can type in the scale. So I'm going to call this Santa Rosa Highway 1. And then pick a point. I noticed that my text is really small, and that's because as I placed it, I didn't change the text. So my annotation scale is 1 inch equals 20 feet. And so I'd want to make my text height be at least 2 feet, or if I want it twice as big, do 4. If you want to move the label or the text, you can click on the grip and move it to another location. If you want to modify the MText, you can double click on the text and that'll open up the editor again. I can double click to shrink the text or the box to the text, and you can also add a mask to it. And this will provide a background mask, and typically I use the drawing background color. And when I do that, you can see it mask the drawing behind it. And so I can click on the grip and move it to where I need to in the drawing. Maybe right there. I can run the M multi-line text command again, and I can pick the first point. And this time I'm going to use the height option to change it as I'm typing it. So I'm going to type 4 to be my text height. And then I can also change the rotation. And I'm going to do 90. And then I can pick an ending point. And then I can type in the text. Don't worry if it doesn't draw it rotated. Once I end the command, it'll then rotate it around. And then you can move the text where you need it to go by using the rectangle grip. When you click on this, note that the grip is in the upper left-hand corner. And that's because it's based on the justify location of top left. You can always change the grip location by changing the justify. So if I want to change it to the middle center, I can go ahead and choose that. And I can see that the square grip then goes to the center middle of the MText. You can also make the text annotative by using the annotate option, and then it'll adjust the text type based on the scale of the drawing. In this case, I'm going to make it non-annotative and have a set height. Right now, the style is based on standard, and that's just the default style that gets created for a text when the drawing is created. But you can also change the style to a different one from the list. But in this case, I'm going to go with standard. You can also add text to the paper space using the same method. In this case, I want to make the height paper space height, so how high I want it when it's printed. And so I'm going to change it back to 0.25 and then pick a point, and then I can give it a name. And that would be the name of my drawing. And so that's how you can create MText to add annotation to your plan, as well as masking the text.